Michael Landsberg is with me, Chief Investment Officer, Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management. Thank you so much for being with us. So much of the talk is how the AI spend has helped to boost the market. What do you think about that? Do you think that continues?
I think really the issue is there's some of the companies that are getting profit right now from legitimate AI spend. There's the other companies, the stocks have gone up because of potential AI spend down the road. And I think that's really where you kind of separate the wheat from the chaff. Who's actually making money today from AI and who's going to be making money down the road? And some of those stocks I think have traded back a bit, the ones that have future promises of big spends. Whereas some of the other companies are making kind of the picks and shovels today, they've been actually making money and their stocks show that.
Which ones have impressed you thus far, whether it's monetization or some ideas or funding? Which ones are impressive to you right now?
I mean, obviously, you can't not like the big two chip companies would be NVIDIA and Broadcom. Obviously, those are kind of the big boys there. But I think what happens when I look at kind of the ecosystem, most people only seem to have chip exposure. They don't have a lot of the other exposure. So I think you got to broaden that out and look at data centers, construction of that, electrification, energy, and also HVAC. And I think there's an area that a lot of people don't realize, the data centers. I mean, at the NYSE, it gets hot here with all the computers.
Sure.
If you don't have really legitimate AC to keep it cool, that's going to be a problem. So I think there are other areas people can broaden their exposure to not just owning chips. Chips have been great, but I think you got to broaden your exposure to companies that are going to make money from it.
We actually had a pause in trading, in futures trading, because of a cooling system not that long ago.
It's
do you
not
remember
yet.
that? Between now and the end of the year, do you see S&P 7,000, or when do you see 7,000?
Yeah, I think you're going to get it. I don't really focus on the numbers as much. I think what you're getting now is you're getting some people now. We're going to see some window dressing in portfolios. If you didn't own some of the stuff, portfolio managers are going to make sure they buy it. Some tax loss selling. We're going to kind of go back and forth. The data has been good. Obviously, CPI was better than expected, lower than expected. I think that gives you, some opportunities. But there will be, a little bit of volatility here. You got quadruple witching today. I think you're going to see some volatility. We're, for the most part, now kind of made our bed for this year. We're going to wait till January to kind of invest any new capital.
And what kind of new capital are you going to put to work and which names?
I think what we're looking at is we're looking for some stuff that's not the AI stuff. We have obviously exposure, as most people do. But what I'm looking for is I think when I see the 2-year Treasury and the dollar trading lower, I think it makes it look like we're going to see a more dovish Fed than people think. Traditionally, when we've been here, the street thinks you're going to get more cuts than you do, and you get less.
Right.
Right now, I think the street doesn't think you're going to get enough cuts. I think you might get a few more. And that actually, with the 2-year and the dollar, I think consumer stocks and healthcare stocks are going to do better.
Oh.
And that's some of the areas that we're looking at. A name that we like a lot is Viking Holdings.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
It's a cruise line that obviously services only rich adults, no children, no casinos. And they basically got a business where they go everywhere. They got the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, high-end service. They're growing 30% a year, and they're actually not trading at a premium. One of the things that we're looking for now is, can we find stocks that aren't trading at big multiples of their growth? And they're actually not. They're trading at a discount to their 30% growth.
I'll tell you, I just spoke about it, and I said we were going to be talking about it in the next segment because Diane King Hall just talked about Carnival Cruise Lines, and it came out with its quarterly numbers. And the bright spot was the annual revenue. Demand is strong, and the cruise lines are higher across the board. But definitely, Viking is so incredible. It's up 62% this year, and I saw Goldman Sachs reiterates the buy or has a buy rating.
And I think Carnival's so broad it appeals to so many people. I think what Viking has said is we're only going to appeal to this small sector. This small subsection has money. They're recently retired people. They've got money. I think COVID made people realize, hey, you only live once. We're going to go do all these trips. We're not going to wait for longer. And they get a premium price. They deliver a premium product. So we like that. And oil going lower is going to help them.
And then you have Urban Outfitters. Tell me about that quickly.
Kind of the opposite. That's a market that targets younger people. They got 3 different businesses: Free People, Anthropology, and Urban Outfitters. They're growing at 15% a year. They're also not trading at a multiple to that growth rate. So it's tough to find stocks that are cheap here. They execute very well. And again, they're in their lane. They're not trying to be all things to all people. Retail's been an area where oil's come down 25%. People have more money in their pocket. I think they're going to spend.
And then you mentioned healthcare, and you have Argenx there.
Argenx is a different name. What I like about Argenx, it's got a drug, Vigart, that's been approved by the FDA a few different ways. But the revenue's gone from $400 million to $4 billion in 4 years. It continues to grow. This drug has the ability to help other drugs be better, as well as cure a lot of rare autoimmune diseases. It seems to be an area that we're not going to get generic out, and I think it's a space away from the GLP business.
So you did mention names like NVIDIA, Broadcom, some of the data centers.
Right.
You're looking at all that electrification. AI bubble? No AI bubble? I mean, do you think AI, the whole revolution continues?
It does. I think there's pockets that we kind of alluded to that
Led
don't
by.
have real money yet. They've got the promise of future money. But some of the data centers haven't been built. But electrification's not going anywhere. Power generation's not going anywhere. HVAC is not going to go anywhere. So I think you can look at those things. I don't know which chip is going to ultimately win. I think you've got to own a few different ones. But you want to own these other things that contribute to this ecosystem.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much. And Michael Landsberg, great to see you. Thank you so much. And some good names there to watch. Coming